Hey everybody, it's Mike and Denise. We're back with our daily video. It seems like a daily video these days. Review and comment on the plant-based news. And we've got a good article that I found today that Denise is going to read. It was actually dated today, which is 4/20/2023. This is the day that Starlink's Starship blew up and kind of half did its thing today, but this article ought to be interesting, I think. I haven't read it, but I think it's going to be somewhat controversial, and I think we need to read in between the lines on it, so go ahead.
Okay. The link between Western diet and prostate cancer, ? A new study points to meat and dairy. A new study suggests that avoiding unhealthy Western diet foods, such as high-fat dairy and processed meats, could be the best strategy to prevent prostate cancer.
Okay, before we continue, let me say, and this is what I don't know because I haven't read the article, what's the difference? Obviously, we know there's animal protein versus plant-based protein, but what's the difference to your body besides that between high-fat, non-dairy alternatives and fake plant-based meats that are heavily processed? Okay, what is the difference? I don't know. We'll find out. Let me see what the study says, and we'll pick it apart.
This is published by Veg News by Nicole Axworthy.
Axworthy.
Yeah, she wrote the last article that we read too.
Okay.
An unhealthy Western diet that includes high-fat dairy products and processed meat could increase the risk of developing aggressive prostate cancer, according to a new study published in the medical journal BJU International. The study assessed the diets of 15,296 men recruited in Spain from 1992 to 1996 and utilized information from the Spanish cohort of the European Perspective Investigation into Cancer and Nutrition, or EPIC, which the study authors say has improved the scientific knowledge of the relationship between diet and cancer and other chronic diseases. We just walked up a big hill.
You're not out of shape or anything, right?
It's hard to read and walk uphill at the same time.
Yeah. I see the people behind us are catching up.
Among these men, and my throat is scratchy.
Pollen. It's all it's dusty pollen.
Nasty. I really need some water, but I don't bring it with me. Among these men, 609 prostate cancer cases were identified during a median follow-up of 17 years. 17 years. It's a long-term study. Their diets were categorized as Western, prudent, or Mediterranean. The Western dietary pattern consisted of a high intake of high-fat dairy products and processed meat, as well as refined grains, sweets, caloric drinks, convenience food, and sauces. Salt sauce. Salt flavored sauces. Or flavored salt sauces. That's kind of how I describe most of those things. The prudent dietary pattern was characterized by a high intake of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, low-fat dairy products, and juices. And the Mediterranean dietary pattern represented a high intake of vegetables, legumes, boiled potatoes, fruits, olives, vegetable oil, fish, and a low intake of juices. Okay, can you go over the number 2? What was that number 2 again? That was the prudent diet. What's that? Yeah, what is that again? High intake of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, low-fat dairy products, and juices. So that sounds better than the Mediterranean. Yeah. Does it? The Mediterranean didn't have dairy. Oh, no dairy. Okay, so but it had oil. So yeah, none of this stuff is like ideal. No. That's for sure. Are any of them healthy? Mediterranean and prudent are way better than the standard American diet, the first one. Yeah, the Western diet had high-fat dairy and processed meat. Yeah. The study found no effect on prostate cancer risk for the prudent or Mediterranean diet patterns. Really? But a detrimental effect was observed with the Western diet. How are you surprised by that? Wait. So they showed no effect. So no effect positive or negative though. Risk. But they're saying they're saying there's not a positive effect either.
There's just, you see what I'm saying? They're
No
saying,
effect.
right, no effect. Not positive, not negative.
But a detrimental effect was observed with the Western diet.
Okay.
The effect was only observed for aggressive tumors. Our results indicate that avoiding unhealthy dietary habits could be the best nutritional strategy to prevent aggressive prostate cancer. Lead author Adela Castello-Pastor, PhD.
Okay, unhealthy dietary habits. They're not mentioning casein or the fact that it's believed that animal protein causes cancer. They're not even mentioning that.
No.
They're just saying unhealthy in general. Okay. Okay.
It was high-fat dairy. Given the results of the study, the authors suggest substituting foods commonly consumed in the Western-style diet, such as dairy and processed meats, with vegetables, fruits, and whole grains,
Okay.
could be the best way to lower the risk of prostate cancer.
Okay, so they're not saying substitute with non-dairy alternatives that are fake dairy, and they're not saying to substitute with fake meats.
No.
I just want to make sure that we're clear. That's why I'm saying we have to analyze all these little details.
Yeah. Substituting the intake of Western type diet products by products characteristic of the Mediterranean diet could also decrease the risk of other chronic diseases. Co-senior author Maria Poland, PhD of the Carlos III Institute of Health in Spain, said in a statement, "Animal products and cancer risk. This is not the first study to link animal products to the increased risk of prostate cancer. Previous research published in the scientific journal, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, found that men who regularly consumed dairy, particularly milk, compared to those who abstained from it, could be at approximately a 60% higher risk of developing prostate cancer." For this study, the researchers examined the dietary habits of 28,737 Seventh-day Adventist men in the United States and Canada. Specifically, they analyzed participants based on their intake of non-dairy calcium and compared them based on the amount of dairy they consumed. The study found that men who consumed 430 grams of dairy per day, which equates to 1 3/4 cups of milk, faced a 25% increased risk of prostate cancer compared to men who consumed 20 grams of dairy per day, or about a half cup of milk per week. When the highest dairy intake group was compared to the men who consumed zero dairy, that risk was much higher. The type of milk, full fat versus low fat, was not linked to significant variation in prostate cancer risk. Researchers
Wait,
also...
so full fat versus no fat.
Yeah, it didn't.
Okay, so
Didn't
there
matter.
maybe it is the casein, even though they're not saying that.
Yeah. Researchers also noted that calcium intake from non-dairy sources did not play a role in prostate cancer risk, suggesting that substances other than calcium in dairy are also involved.
Okay.
Of course they are.
Okay.
Calcium doesn't cause cancer. Our findings add important weight to other evidence associating dairy products rather than non-dairy calcium as a modifiable risk factor for prostate cancer. Gary Fraser, the study's principal investigator and professor at Loma Linda University School of Medicine and School of Public Health, said in a statement, "Could a healthy diet prevent prostate cancer?" Meanwhile, a number of studies have found the benefits of a plant-based diet in reducing the risk of many cancers, including prostate cancer. A study published last month in the medical journal Urology found that eating more plants could prevent men's health issues such as erectile dysfunction and prostate cancer. One study found that a plant-based diet that includes plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables could reduce both the progression of prostate cancer by 52% and the likelihood that it will return by 53%. Another study published in scientific peer-reviewed publication Journal of Urology found that greater consumption of plant-based foods lowers up the risk of prostate cancer for men under 65. Specifically, in men under 65 years of age at diagnosis, greater overall consumption of plant-based foods was associated with a lower risk of advanced prostate cancer. Among younger men, greater consumption of a healthful plant-based diet was associated with lower risks of total prostate cancer.
What's a healthful plant-based diet? They don't define that though. Do they?
They probably mean plenty of fruits and vegetables.
Well, they talked about 3 different diets in the beginning of this article, and they didn't mention a healthful plant-based diet. They did not.
They got out of that study and started talking about other studies about midway through the article.
Okay. Is there more, or is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Okay, well, it's inconclusive. It sounds like at some point they're saying it's just the dairy. Doesn't matter if it's high fat or no fat, like skim milk or whatever. But
No fat. Well, they said high or low. They didn't say no fat.
oh, they didn't say no. It was high or low. Oh, okay. I didn't. Okay, I thought it was no. I don't know why. Maybe we need to go back and play that again. But I'm still unsure. I'm unsure what this means. Dr. T. Colin Campbell from the China study is the one who said that animal protein causes cancer. That's never been proven other than his book. So we don't know. And then, of course, the way this article is written, I'm still not sure about the role of high-fat diets in developing these things. Right? High-fat, low-fiber diets, I'd say. Like any kind of the fake dairies or the fake meats are going to be high-fat, low-fiber, right? So I'm not sure. Maybe that's the key. Maybe it's a combination of those two things. But it's weird that the article doesn't focus on either of those concepts. They just talk about this in a very general sense.
Yeah, that you increase your cancer risk when you increase your dairy intake. And other charts have shown that too. You can see the correlation lines that Dr. Campbell draws. Those charts are available online if you just Google it.
Okay. So what do you think? Does it even matter? Just don't eat animal products. But like they said, the healthful plant-based diet, what does that mean? Well, we think it means what we have for our healthy vegan food certification. And if you want to know what that is, go to healthyveganfood.info. Healthyveganfood.info. Basically what that is for us is no animal products, no alcohol, has to have actual plant fiber in it, and then no added oil, no added salt, and no refined sugar. So that's how we define it. That's the minimum level.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be organic.
Right, or gluten-free or whatever else, okay? So
non-GMO.
Right, so that's what we say. I wish the article would talk about that. If you guys who write these articles want to talk with us about it, about incorporating our standard into these things or into any kind of research, please let us know. We'd like to do that because we do think that we need to be more specific. This is just way too general in my mind, other than to say avoid animal products and maybe avoid junk food, I guess, too, but it doesn't really even go that far to say that. It doesn't say that. Because fake dairy and fake meats are junk food, basically.
Yeah, well, so is juice. All 3 of the diets in the study had them.
Yeah. Food-like products.
Yeah.
I talk about that in my book, too. That's why you got to walk, too, like we are when we're doing our purposeful exercise here, or we're reading our articles. If you want to know more, get the free book, Live to 150 at liveto150.org. Anything else to add?
No.
That's it. All right, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We look forward to reading them. Give us a thumbs up. That helps out with our channel. And also be sure to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.